What is up? Yes, let's talk about doing versus teaching. So, when you're doing done for you services and thinking about, or you're in the middle of coaching or consulting. So, a lot of us start out, right? We start out doing done for you services. We're good at something, we figure something out, and we get paid to do it. We do whatever it is, build websites, work on leadership classes, build content. We create something for someone else, right? That swap of time for money, particularly when it's like an activity we have to do, gets really expensive in the long run. So, yes, that's where I started. That's where most people start. And that's awesome. Like you've just proven, like just pat yourself on the back for a second. You've just proven that your skill set, your expertise, the thing that you know how to do is actually valuable to the world. That's totally step number one. And you can't go to step number two until you figure that out. So, yay, you. Well done. Now, step two is typically this, but let's talk about where this goes and be strategic and plan ahead. Step two is typically people saying, okay, I want to quit doing done for you services or do less of that and add on, or just stop doing that altogether and move into this consulting coaching space. Basically, not doing the work for someone, but teaching someone else how to do the work or advising them on how to do the work. Hey, what's up? So good to see you. Oh my gosh, great to see you guys. So make sure that as you make that shift, it's important to make the shift because it allows you to start separating your actual skill set and handwork, let's say, into a coachable, teachable, trainable skill set where you're now trading information for money instead of your actual skill set for money. What that does is it decouples time and money. Okay, that's a first big step when it comes to like making something scalable. So yes, you got to figure out, is your skill set, what you know how to do, marketable to the world. If you figure that out, you're doing done for you services. That's awesome. If you've already figured out you got a big agency running, awesome. If you're doing this solo, that's awesome. Either way, you figured it out. Cool. Making something scalable and moving into the information selling space requires you again to find out, how do I sell me teaching someone how to do the skill set versus me doing it on my own? That's a big shift. When you make that shift to be able to teach someone or figure out how to market your teaching instead of marketing your done for you services, that's a big shift because the first step in decoupling your time, trading it for your dollars. Okay. Now, this step, if you go from, okay, I'm not doing done for you services anymore. Now I'm just coaching, consulting, teaching, training, whatever you want to call it. That's a big step because now you're selling information, not a completed done for you step. You might think, well, my market wants me to do this. I let's pick a thing. We mentioned websites a second ago. I build websites for people. Awesome. Good for you. Believe it or not, a lot of the market wants you to build the website for them. And a lot of the market wants you to teach them or their team members how to do their own website builds because they want to do that internally. Okay, cool. Now that's a market that will buy the teaching, the training, the consulting, not the done for you service. Once you make that shift, you're now trading information for money. That's a big deal because as soon as you can trade information for money, you can scale that. You can now train 5 people at a time, 10 people at a time, build a small group coaching program, mastermind, call it what you want. You can now all of a sudden scale how many people can I train at once? E-courses, books, all that stuff. By the way, start with the high ticket stuff. We'll talk about that later. Start with the high ticket stuff. Don't start with building an e-course. Start with like building a mastermind or group coaching program. There's so many reasons to do that. You'll just fail and fail and fail on the e-course side. Start with the high ticket stuff. Then you can go back and build the lower ticket stuff. But figure that out because once you sell your information to one person, consulting, coaching, training, teaching, whatever it is, now you can scale that. Now you can train 3 people at a time, 5 people at a time, 10 people at a time, have a group coaching program, a mastermind, something like that. That right there, that is the break. That's where all of a sudden your time and your money are separated. And now you can scale the income without ramping up more work hours. That is an enormous thing to figure out. Once you've cracked the code on that, you're off to the races. You're now moving into a truly scalable, sustainable business model based on your skill set and your expertise. I still love being involved in the things I know how to do. Like we obviously, this, we teach people how to build high ticket masterminds, group coaching programs, all that kind of stuff. This is what we talk about all the time. But to do that, I still do it myself, right? I run masterminds. I market our own masterminds. I do our own group coaching programs and sell and scale those things up. Like me and my team do that because it's important for you and me to stay active in our area of expertise so we actually know what in the world we're talking about. What's working right now in the market is what I'm doing right now in the market. What you're doing in your skill set, you're doing right now in the market. It's working right now in the market. You can train and teach that. But if you just train and teach and quit doing the done for you stuff, even for yourself, then it starts to get you farther and farther and farther away from reality. And you see coaches and consultants who get farther away from reality and like all of a sudden their stuff doesn't work. You don't want to be there. You want to make sure you're actually able to do these things for yourself or for others at a very low level. That way you can scale and stay fresh on your information, but scale the information and training side. That is how this works. Look, go to groupcoachnation.com. We have a video series, all kind of stuff there. You can just jump in, like learn how to separate your information and build something scalable. That piece right there is going to change so much in your life. So groupcoachnation.com is where to go for that. There's so much there. It's free. You can have at it. We just want to make sure that you figure out, look, are you a beginner, an advanced, or a pro level person when it comes to sharing your information and scaling it? If you already have a mastermind, you're like, I want to figure out how to scale this bigger. We got you there. That's going to be an advanced or pro section for you. You'll see on the website. If you're like, okay, I'm just trying to get my head around this, we got you. That's this whole beginner stuff. We got like, get it figured out. Separate your time from your money. That way you can have margin in your life. You can actually quit the overwhelm and get back to the stuff that actually really works, the stuff that works, that makes you and the people you serve sustainable. Without that sustainability, it just ends up becoming messier and messier and messier. So do the work and get the results. If you don't get the work done and you don't do it the right way, then you end up moving in a direction that's just not scalable, frustrating. You won't be sustainable for yourself. You won't be sustainable for your clients. Do the right work, get the results. You got this.